Now, please welcome to the stage Vice President, Customer Success, Moveworks, Gwen Thorn.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you guys for all the time and joining us here today. So, really excited to kick off our lightning round of customer stories. It's always inspiring for me to learn from all of you on what innovations you've been harnessing with the platform and what you've brought to life. So, get ready to hear from some exceptional lineup of speakers who have successfully harnessed AI to deliver tangible business value. So you'll hear from them on a range of topics. You'll hear about delivering productivity and cost reduction with AI. You'll hear about the AI-driven transformation of HR, how to build an org-wide automation strategy, and an amazing journey to 85% effectiveness rate. They'll dive into their tried and true strategies and blueprints, so you can leave today with information on how you can leverage what others have done before you to make your implementation, your use of the product even more effective. So, without further ado, our first speaker is Christophe Brunetton, Vice President of Global Information System Operations at bioMérieux, where he leads the full employee experience in EMEA. This session is all about how an AI agent is delivering business productivity and cost reduction. So let's give a warm welcome to Christophe.
Hello, Gwen. Hello, everyone. So I'm part of bioMérieux, so just a few words first about my company. So we're a world leader in the field of in vitro diagnostics in 1963, so a 50 years company. We are present in 45 countries, very important thing, keep it in mind. And we serve more than 160 countries in the world. Mostly, I would say all the countries are using our product or our services. What I want to say, in addition of that, is that to do so, we have a large, I would say, team of roughly 15,000 of people, and they are using a lot of solutions, IT solutions, applications solutions, 400 solutions. So it means that my team, we are helping them to operate by operating, maintaining, supporting our end user and the solution they are using. To do so, in bioMérieux, we have put in place years ago now a very classic model with a level 1 support. This model is based on an external company who have outsourced this activity. And it's a very good model, I would say. I'm really happy about that. But it's a costly model, even if it's really predictable. So I had in mind a couple of years ago to think about how to improve that, how to modernize the user experience, and also how to reduce my cost. At the same time, I would say, in my personal experience, I noticed that the AI agents were quite mature now. So I think that perhaps an AI agent can help me meeting my goals, reducing the cost, modernizing the experience. The idea was also to prepare the renewal of the contract with my main partner in 2026. So 1 year now, we'll have to think about what is the future of this classic model. Should I renew it as it is, or should I think something differently? I had in mind a kind of a zero-agent strategy. And then, why not experimenting what I can achieve with an AI agent before 2026, just to see if it can be a step to this zero-agent strategy. When I say AI agent, I was thinking to answer some of my concerns, I would say. First, remember, 45 countries supported with people everywhere, so it means several languages, okay? And today, as you see, I have plenty of people supporting them in their native language, very costly again. Then, we are in a regulatory environment, my company, so it means that I need a tool that can adapt to user, but also to our particular rules and concerns. Finally, we are a big company with a lot of systems. We need also this AI agent to be connected to all these systems. ServiceNow, Microsoft, Active Directory, etc., etc. So again, AI is probably the solution, but how? First things, when I think about AI, immediately, probably as most of you, I'm thinking about LLM. I have no expertise at all. I have no team dealing with AI. I I have no team dealing with LLM and so on. I have to admit that, even, I don't know what I'm talking about, frankly. So, make the transition, I would say, with the first question, should I make something or should I buy something? Personally speaking, I think that what is important for a company like us is to make when it brings value to the company. I mean, the company dealing with in vitro diagnostics. So here, if we are able to put some AI features in your instrument for the future, for sure it will bring value. Let's move to the make. But me, I'm the one supporting the others. I'm the one that we are expecting to be very efficient. Here, I have an obvious choice, I will say, to make. And it's to make to buy a solution existing on the market. And if possible, to buy the most, I will say, efficient solution. I hope this is what we did, but let's see. So, second question to meet. As I said, it's a costly model, the model that we have to support our users. Okay? And I want to reduce the cost. Personally, I don't want really to reduce the cost, but my boss wants. So that's the same, more or less. Here, the idea for me is to calculate in advance what could be the return on investment of this AI agent. This is where I met a couple of companies, including Moveworks, and that we try to discuss with them how we can imagine in advance what will be my support model using their AI agent. With Moveworks, we've been very, I will say, efficient. We provide them some data, our data, my real data. They use it, analyze it, and they have seen that by, I would say, with the quality of the data that we have, the kind of data that we have, we can reduce the number of agents that we have in our partner company dramatically. And then they were able to give me approximately what the cost that I will save, by saving the number of people. Okay. So here, very easy to calculate the return on investment. Moveworks, as an example, estimated, thanks to our data, that we can reduce by 30% the number of tickets that were created. Less tickets, less agents, for sure. Then, last question on the how is the time. I want something very quick, because I need to demonstrate to my company that I can save money immediately, not in 5, 10, 15 years. We're in a reactive market. We need to be efficient, okay? So we want to set up a very quick project. And it's also linked to the make or buy choice. By buying a solution, I will be more efficient and more quick, okay, to deliver and to roll out the solution. To set up the project, we created a kind of lean project team in my company, working with Moveworks ones and with our partner also. And the idea was really to have something which is not too costly and very quick. So it was a 12 weeks project in order to roll out the solution. So very efficient, I would say. Really efficient? Let's see the figures. What we achieved after 3 months is, look at the number of active users. Remember the figure that I provided to you a couple of minutes ago. We are roughly 15,000 of users. 3 months after the launch of the bots, most of them have contacted the bot, have discussed with the bot. This is impressive. Thank you. Number of interaction. We were talking in the past about incidents, requests, etc. This is number that. It's interaction. Because there's no more incident created, because the incident is solved when we interact with the end user. Very efficient too. And the satisfaction rate, something which is very important for me. We had a very high level of satisfaction in our company from our end user. We were at 86% of satisfaction rate, and it's measurable because we are using AP signal solution to measure it in any services and requests that we are doing with the end user. 86%. 3 months after the bot, 87%. Let's say more or less stable. And it was key because the risk was to decrease the satisfaction of the user by removing the language, by removing, I would say, the ability to talk to someone. At the opposite, it's stable, they're happy about it, and on top of that, they are now able to do something that was not possible to do with DMA and agent. They're addressing, thanks to the bot, their question or how to use something. My agent in the past, they were really good in solving issues. but they were not so good in answering the question how to use that, how to do something. The bot is because we have good data in your system. So here, and to sum up now, what we did. In fact, for me, and it's not my, sorry. Yes, no, it's okay. Sorry for that. I was surprised by the kind of look. My motivation was to modernize our services and to reduce the cost, as you remember. But I don't want to set up an AI project dealing with LLM, as I said. And in fact, I didn't. I don't want to set up a kind of big innovation project, and I didn't. What I did is just a simple project to put in place a solution to reduce my cost. I modernized an existing services and reduced the cost for my company. We reduced the cost by 1 million euros, so roughly 1 million and $200,000. Remember what I said on the make versus buy? For me, what is important, in my case, but also in any case, is to choose the best approach that will help you to meet your needs. Okay? This is what was important. My need was to be quick. My need was to be efficient in delivering a quick solution to reduce my cost. Buy was the good choice. Rapid implementation. Here also in your ecosystem, this is really key. 10 to 12 weeks to put in place a solution. This is what is expected by the company. This is what is expected by the end users. Okay? We are used in a big company like me to think about 3 to 5 years projects. It's too long. We need to be efficient. Okay? Because on the market, our competitors are not waiting for us. Finally, my project was also a way to reduce the complexity. No need to recruit a dedicated team or manage a costly infrastructure. This is done by Moveworks company, not by me, okay? I'm buying a service. I'm happy about the service that I'm buying. That's good. And at the end, measurable results. This is what is important. Tangible ROI that we have estimated in advance. We have worked a lot on the adoption, for sure. But we saw immediately some productivity gains, and we had also a lot of good results on the automations. So now more to come. Today, it's just a tool-based, I would say, to support our end user on the IT stuff, okay? We'll extend it. We are currently extending it to the HR topic, but also some area, finance, purchasing, etc. So the story with Moveworks is not finished, and I'm happy to see that now we will continue to work all together, Jean-Daniel in particular, and Ibrahim, that are at the end of the room. So, hello, guys, to continuously improve and continue. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us today, Christophe. Obviously, your AI evaluation was so intentional, had very clear criteria, which really enabled you to drive a really big, huge business value at the end of the day. So appreciate the approach to make versus buy. Some of us say build versus buy if you like the BB connotations, but it allowed your team to focus on driving those results and getting the outcomes you desired. So speaking of the next frontier for bioMérieux in the HR realm, our next speaker is in that space. So next up, we have Devjeet Haldar, VP of HR Operations at Johnson Controls. He leads a 350-plus person team that has globally been transforming the classic HR operating model with AI, automation, and data. This session spotlights a unique approach to HR operations and employee support. Let's have Devjeet join us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gwen, for the kind introduction. Hello. I'm here to really share our story at Johnson Controls, our story around how we used Agentic AI to transform our HR operating model. Johnson Controls is a comprehensive building solution provider. We are creating a new class of smart buildings that are safe, healthy, and sustainable. We have over 100,000 employees globally, and we are in the world 90% of most iconic buildings. We have been making buildings better for over 40 years. In the recent 4 to 5 years, we have been transforming buildings with use of our digital solutions called OpenBlue. OpenBlue is a platform that brings data together across all the ecosystem of buildings and applies edge computing and AI to automate and optimize building performance. So it's like having a digital twin of building right in front of your screen, and floor by floor implementing recommendation to drive energy productivity, reduce cost for our customers, and reduce carbon footprint, which is a win-win for our customers and our society. In HR, our vision is to become employer of choice in all the market we compete. Now, in order to do that, we have got 3 pillars of our strategy: talent, people, and culture. So around talent, if you think about Johnson Controls and how we have been transforming buildings for, in the recent 4 to 5 years, that created a need for us to have a new type of talent in the company, not the traditional talent. The reason because we are using data, AI, cloud computing, so we needed to get roles like data scientists, software and hardware engineers, cloud engineers and architects. And oftentimes, we competed with big tech companies for these type of talent. So what we knew that our strategy in HR had to be something that differentiated us. Not only differentiating us in terms of hiring the right talent, developing them and retaining them, but also creating an unparalleled experience for our employees and ensuring that it's easy for them to do business with HR. So that's very important for us. And then finally, the last not the least, creating a high-performance culture. So we use AI in employee listening. We have improved employee productivity and engagement at a company level. And we use AI, Omni, to really transform our operating model. So what you see on the screen is, in order for us to realize our vision, we really needed to know what our current state looked like, right? So we partnered with Deloitte to do a work activity analysis that allowed us to really look at 2 things: how our HR colleagues globally are spending their time, and what processes they are spending their time, and what's the nature of how they are spending time. For example, are they spending time doing strategic consulting type of work, or inquiry handling and administrative type of work? So as you can see, a vast majority of our HR colleagues were spending time doing operational and inquiry handling. So that really created a need for us to really look at our processes, our technology, and our operating model, all of it, and think about how do we optimize ourselves to create that value add for our company and our business, right? So we started with standardizing our processes, but at the same time, we partnered with Moveworks to bring in Omni, which we will talk about more, to automate the inquiry handling, for employees. And I think that was a big win for us internally, initially, to kind of create capacity for our HR people, and then use that capacity to shift focus on doing more consulting and strategic value-add work for our businesses. So with that, let's look at Omni. This was the teaser video we used to launch and introduce Omni to the enterprise. And it was just 10 months back. And just 10 months back, so we are pretty recent in terms of introducing AI at our enterprise level. But what's important is that Omni is not just another IT project, right? Another agent in IT to kind of automate inquiry handling. We launched Omni as an integral part of our operating model. What I mean by saying that is we not only launched Omni, but we also realigned ourselves to an optimized operating model and launched them together to make the bigger impact. So as you can see here, the top of the funnel, all employees, 100,000 employees worldwide, they go through Omni for any HR-related request, right? That's the primary channel of contact for our employees. Now, when Omni is not able to respond, we needed to have a support structure to make Omni much more intelligent over time. So what we did is we restructured our HR operations to create two teams, HR advisory and HR service delivery. So HR advisory team is the team that is there behind Omni, where when Omni is not able to respond, it facilitates creating a case or does a handoff of chat to HR operations. HR advisory picks it up and closes the inquiry with our customers. But they also create a knowledge article that we publish back so that Omni is able to take care of those type of inquiries on an ongoing basis. It's a constant loop of feedback that we feed back to Omni to make it better every day. So, and the service delivery team definitely looks into all the cases that are complex to resolve it. Now, what it also did is it allowed us to shift. First of all, it created capacity for HR operations because our call volume went down from about 30 to 40%. So that gave us some capacity. We shifted the operations work from HR business partners into HR operations. So we absorbed work based on that capacity. And then we allowed space and time for HR business partners to build the competencies that are needed to support business better. For example, accelerating business transformation with change management type of work, org design type of work. So that's how we are transforming our operating model with Agentic AI. The other thing about Omni is that we are not only using it to automate inquiry handling, but we are also using Omni to automate actions. And you probably heard from Varun and others early in the day about how action AI or agentic AI, where you can really take actions. We are doing that. We are not only doing approvals. There was an example about employee verification letter automation. That's a great way to use Omni to do that. So we are there. We are also using Moveworks platform capability is nudges, right? That's a really good capability for us to align with our HR calendar of events so that just in time, right time, Omni nudges a manager, offering them, assisting them to create a performance review or write a SMART goal. So we are using that capability, aligning with the events so that it's the right nudge at the right time to drive engagement and more support and assistance with Omni. The other important part about Omni is the seamless integration with the business application in the background, right? That's the Creator Studio, which is becoming Agentic Studio. I think that's very, very powerful because the vision is when you onboard an employee to your company, they don't need to know that they have to go to SumTotal for training or Allied for benefits or Fidelity for 401k. All they need to know is I have an advisor, Omni, and Omni can really not only answer my question, but take me to the right applications to do my business. So that's our vision that we want to realize. What we also want to do with Omni now going forward is anticipate the need of our customers. HR applications has got a lot of intelligence in it. It knows more about you than anybody else, right? So how do we trigger those transactions in the system of record to anticipate the need of our customers and then nudge them, offering them to assist, whether you change your address or you're a new hire to the company? How can we become an advisor to the employees right on time? So that's what we are trying to evolve Omni to. So in terms of results, we have got, like I said, 10 months since we launched, over 400,000 interactions, over 120,000 questions answered using HR Atlas. HR Atlas is our ServiceNow platform. So Omni is actually inquiring to the ServiceNow to bring information in the right order. We have got about 40,000 employees using the tool. This number is going to go up because we haven't yet launched Omni to our manufacturing plant employees. It's another 20,000 employees that we will see how they use Omni going forward as we launch this in the end of September. And then, this is very important, 900 feedback improvements. That really speaks to the engagement of our employee. They want Omni to become better, right? And I think that's very powerful. When you're getting the feedback, we are making it better every day. And it's how you engage employees to make Omni better, through focus groups, through feedback mechanism. So key learnings. I'm not going to go through all of it in the interest of time, but what I'm going to highlight is two things. Persona-driven approach. So you need to really think about what are the different personas in your company and how you can organize your content by certain roles so that you are catering the right content to the right persona. Very, very important. The other thing that is very important is also getting started on your content strategy sooner. Curate your content. Good data makes AI better, right? The response is going to be better. The adoption is going to be better. The value you can drive will be much, much better with that content and data that feeds AI. With that, thank you.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you for sharing your insights, Devjeet. And what a snazzy video. I'm going to want one of those for our bot here. So it is great to hear about how this team has been building their AI strategy to so tightly couple with their people strategy. So those really play in tandem for long-term success. So along that genre, next we have Frederick Ros, head of digital workplace services at Amadeus. Fred is passionate about engineering human-centric solutions that empower people to do their best work. And the key to that is building an org-wide automation solution to redefine how employees work. So let's bring out Fred to hear more.
How can you give back time to your employees? How can you reduce the call to your desk, to your support desk, by 40% in a couple of months? And more importantly, what are the 3 key insights that can help you succeed on this journey? Hello, I'm Frederick Ros, head of digital workplace services at Amadeus. And in the next couple of minutes, I will try to answer these questions. Who knows Amadeus? Amadeus is a global technology company that is delivering innovative solutions to the travel and tourism industry. We are more than 20,000 professionals that are assisting our customers in more than 190 countries. In 2024 alone, we facilitated 470 million of bookings and more than 2.2 billion of passengers boarded through our applications. Picture the digital workplace services as the foundation of works at Amadeus. We are interconnecting all our sites in more than 130 countries. We are delivering the laptop and the mobiles for our employee. We are providing collaboration solutions, and more importantly, we are supporting all these people globally. Employees are not coming at work to be hindered by their IT environment. They are coming at work to add value, to create new solutions and support our customer. Therefore, our guiding principle is to drive transparency for end user, to set up a frictionless IT environment, and to give more time back to the employee to perform on their business objectives. Doing so, we encountered a couple of roadblocks on our way. First, a fragmented employee request channel, be it by mail, by messages, by phone call, by tickets. You name it, you get it. A proliferation of AI agents, whether delivered by the vendors or even by our own engineers. A cultural shift to the Gen AI in the company. And last but not least, a fragmented and unmaintained knowledge across several different systems. We choose Moveworks to assist us in this mission because we do think that their technology is one of the most advanced that we can see. The ability to understand complex queries from the user, but also to action on them to fulfill them, is unparalleled from our point of view. On top, the very open discussion about the underlying technology with Bhavin and Varun, but also the flexibility, engagement, and happiness of the team, hello Jean-Daniel and Ibrahim, has really helped into this choice. With Moveworks, we were able to deliver a solution for our employees that help them answering their question whenever they want. This drastically changed the employee experience. And now, on our side, we have one way to automate a broad range of tasks and to make this automation delivered to the employees through a single and simple channel, a conversation with our user agent, Hubert. In less than 1 year, we achieved very significant achievements. First, the adoption is around 43%, which is, and we are targeting 55% by the end of the year, which is quite good when you know how complex it is to change the habit of people. Then we managed to reduce, as I mentioned, by 44% the number of calls to our support teams. And more importantly, from our point of view, we were able to give back more than 60,000 hours globally to our employees per month. And we did all that with a user satisfaction score, which is 3.8, which is more or less 95% of our target. With all the agents that are there today from all the vendors, we wanted to avoid one scenario, which is that each employee needs to think about which agent will be able to answer their question. And then, for more complex tasks, we want to avoid them to be the one coordinating the call to these different agents. Our vision is relatively simple. We want the employee to talk to a single user agent that understands the complex query, and then that is able to plan the work and call the different plugins, function, and agents to fulfill this demand. We are conscious that technologically, the industry is only at the beginning of the journey. You can see the first sign with the MCP server, the A2A protocols that have been announced recently. But we decided that our strategy will be to implement our vision, starting with Moveworks. In all this, we learned a lot of things. The three most important ones are the following. change management, breaking the silos, APIs. Change management first. You have to change how people are thinking. Most of the time, people are going back to their old habits, which is going to search for information in an intranet, filling a form, opening a ticket. You need to constantly remind them and drive them to Hubert, to your agent. It's also a change management with respect to the people that are supporting the employee. You need to think that for every new application, new functionality that you are going to push to the employee, you first need to think about how it will be integrated with Hubert, the agent, because that's the only way to deliver the maximum efficiency. Breaking the silos. With all the vendors coming with all their different agents, we do think that the only way to bring more value to the employee is to defer this orchestration to an agent, which means that you need to refocus your different teams for the benefits of the end user, but also to align them on the same goals and the same vision, which is giving more time back to the employees. And last but not least, the APIs. Every tool, application that you are going to buy or build need to be able to surface information and to perform actions through the API. That's essential if you want an agent to be able to act. We even believe that in a world where agents will do the work on your behalf, having the right API is more important than having the right website or user interface. The interface is the agent. Thank you.
Great. Awesome. Appreciate the insight, Frederick. The vision of having that single AI agent to plan and coordinate across an army of behind-the-scene agents is definitely aligned with the vision that Varun shared this morning, as well as kind of Bill's vision around that central control tower to really coordinate across all of those. So we are cheering the team on as they make deeper progress on their Moveworks journey. OK, so last but not least, our next speaker is Stanley Toh, Head of Enterprise and End User Services and Experience at Broadcom. Stanley brings a wealth of experience, particularly around M&A day one transformations, having been a part of the notable acquisitions of CA Technologies and VMware. The focus of his session is the journey to 85% effectiveness rate. Let's pass it over to Stanley.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Enjoying your .global so far? It's been great, right? OK. So I'm here to share with you guys the journey to 85% effective rate at Broadcom and how we did it. But first, many of you may not know Broadcom. So who is Broadcom? We are a global infrastructure company that deals in both hardware and software. Now, which one of you do not use the internet? Now, if you don't use the internet, you won't be here today. Anyway, 99% of the internet traffic pass through a Broadcom technology one way or another. From your end devices, we enable your Wi-Fi, your connectivity, to anything in between, the fiber, the switches, the network routers, to the data center, to actually managing a data center infrastructure, to anything that is securing your data center. There is a Broadcom technology somewhere in there. So that's why we say 99% of you uses our technology every day without knowing it. Okay? Probably the first thing you wake up in the morning is you turn on your phone, you check your messages, you're using our technology. So thank you for being a customer. Now, that's the boring part. Now we go to the fun part. When you launch your AI assistant, one of the thing is you ask yourself, when I launch it, how come my effective rate is so low? The reason is knowledge. And if you've heard from the earlier speakers, they say the same thing. Knowledge is gold, right? If you have bad data, it's bad knowledge. If you have lack of knowledge, it's bad knowledge. If you have inaccurate knowledge, that's bad knowledge. And with that, you have bad resolution. So how do we solve it? Now, it's not magic, and there's a formula to it. First of all, you need to give the team direction. This is where we are going. Set a goal, set a vision. Make sure your whole team embrace that vision. Once you have that direction set, what we did next is I have 2 dedicated teams. The first one is they do nothing but data analytics. The great thing about Moveworks platform, you have your employee insight. You can glean a lot of information from there. What knowledge is missing? Which knowledge is not working? What kind of utterance are people asking and you do not know how to answer? All those information are there. So this team do nothing but analyze that, and then they work with we call it knowledge curator. Back when I started, long time ago, with Moveworks, we don't have knowledge studio. Now we do. That will help you accelerate this, right? So I have to create a dedicated team called the knowledge curator. They do nothing but create knowledge base. Now, creating knowledge base is easy. They churn out about 1,000+ new knowledge article a year. That one is easy. But things change. You have to be very diligent to make sure your knowledge is always up to date and is relevant, right? Now, back in the days, all of this is manual. Today, fast forward, you have Knowledge Studio. You have AI to help you with that. So I think your journey will be much easier and much faster and more efficient to get great knowledge. Okay? Now, with great knowledge, what do we get? Let me show you. 85% effective rate. When we first started, really low. Thank you. 2018, we have very few knowledge articles, 5%. And then we increase a little bit, 13%. But as the years goes by, we built better knowledge article, and then it accelerated. And then with all the new modules coming in, what do you call that? Inception, ticket acceleration, all those increase the effective rate. And then during M&A, we had double the workforce. More people are using it now. Plus, we actually create knowledge articles just for M&A. So the employees can ask them, just the board. And the other thing is, in 2020, we turned off phone support. We forced everyone to use Moveworks, right? With that, it accelerated. And then we know what happened between 2020, that little pesky bug. We create knowledge article just anticipating what user will be asking. And that helped the acceleration, right? So if you can see from 2020 to 2022, we hit 80% effective rate. And in 2023, we closed VMware. But by that time, we are already experienced with M&A. So we have a lot of good knowledge. And everyone just use the bot for any question they have for all the new VMware colleagues that we onboarded. On the first week of VMware, we hit 97% effective rate for 1 week. Okay? Now, I have a colleague sitting down there, and I hope many are online. I'm very proud of my team. Imagine 97% effective rate. Right? Then things stabilized a bit, and then we started introducing the AI assistant beyond IT. Now it goes to the engineering support team. It goes to HR. And in 2025 to date, we are tracking at 88%. In Q2, we are actually trending at over 89%. So all of you, I believe, with Creator Studio, with Agent Studio, with Knowledge Studio, everyone in this room can hit 85% easy. And I believe with my team, I'm pushing them 95%. Sustainable, 95%. Okay? Now, with that said, the key lessons is set the right expectation, set the right vision, set the right goals. You will not get there immediately, you will get there eventually. Be persistent, be patient. Secondly, create achievable goals. Don't come in day one, turn it on, and you say, oh, I want 85%. You set at 50 in Q1, 60 in Q2, 75 in Q3, 1 year, 85%. Those are achievable goals. Then you celebrate every win. Keep motivating your team to get there, right? And lastly, don't forget, end user adoption is key. I'm going to go backstage and ask Devjeet, I need to borrow his marketing team for the Omni video. When we first started, I don't have a video. After seeing that, now I want a video. I need to go talk to him. So with this, I think everyone will get to 85% in no time. Okay? So with that, thanks, and enjoy the rest of .global.
Thanks, Stanley. I have dibs on that video first, but we'll share. So truly impressive effectiveness rate you've not only achieved, but continued to maintain on the Broadcom side. And we appreciate, of course, that triple D formula for how to drive up that effectiveness and what that looks like. So I wanted to give another round of thanks to all of our lightning round speakers from bioMérieux, Johnson Controls, Amadeus, and Broadcom for sharing some insights and time with us today. So it's been a wonderful journey, thank you, hearing about all of these experiences. I'm excited for you to hear more in this afternoon's breakouts for those who are here in person. Lots of key takeaways, lots of learnings for us all as we embark on all of our unique AI journeys. So with that, thank you, and we will proceed to a panel. Thank you.